It is a championship for the Bedford Bulldogs, 3 in a row.
Johnson serves it in. Great header there, and it's a goal.
Brian O'Brien shot, Bedford goal.
Sees it about the 18, sends it up and over and in. Big shot, Grace Crowder. Will kick, snaps back, kick is up. It looks good. It is good.
It's good.
It is good.
It's good.
Good evening and welcome to the Bedford High School Athletic Complex, where tonight the Bedford Bulldogs will be hosting the Hanover Bears in the season opener for girls soccer. Bedford comes in 1-0, Hanover comes in 1-0, and one of these teams is going to have a blemish on their record tonight after tonight's game. My name is Lauren Fox, and alongside Bill Klein, I will bring you all the action from tonight's game. Andrew Fenn will be on the camera. And for the Bulldogs, Bill, coming off of last year's championship, big 1-0 win over Exeter, expectations are high, but they also lost a lot of seniors.
They did. However, the game the other night, they didn't have any problem putting the ball in the net. And one end of the field, the other end of the field kept the ball out. Big shutout. And that's been the history last few years of an incredible number of shutouts.
It was, so the game that took place Tuesday night, and I guess I'm going to make a request. Andrew, can you turn me up in my ears? Awesome. A little bit more. Thank you. So the other night's game, 8-0, but that's perfect. Now we're talking. The other night's game, 8-0, but what I will say, very one-sided of a game. Bedford was not challenged on the defensive end really at all, and the skill level of the Bulldog team really made the difference. Anna Diaz with a pair of goals, 4 assists, Lana Morris with 2 goals of her own, and the Bulldogs scoring about 20 minutes in. It was scoreless. All of a sudden ran away with it. So I will say this. Hanover comes in last year 8-8. Coach Doug Kennedy does say this is a team that has improved, and they beat a Nashua North team that's traditionally not a shabby team, 5-0 in their opener behind 3 goals from Maeve Lee, whose dad was just in here chatting with us prior to the game.
And last season, our result was 2-0 Bedford. Bedford.
Yep.
And won the first 6 games before losing the first match there, which was to Exeter, I believe.
Couple bodies down in the box. Emma Campfield goes down, and she went down. It looked like just outside the 18, so a little bit fortuitous for Bedford that it was not inside, but still not an easy situation to deal with here. Less than a minute in, and taking the kick is Allison Daigle. It may be Maeve Lee, too. They're both standing right outside. Bedford with a wall that looks like your cell phone bar's reception from left to right. And that one, nice diving save by the keeper, Callie Spittle. Get into the action early. And a big one there made by Callie at the 38-37 mark.
That's a nice confidence builder for her for sure, because I don't know how many shots she had on goal the other night. Maybe
somewhere between 0 and 3, I'm
0
guessing.
and 3.
It will be a corner kick now. First shot comes in, and well played by Callie, but a tough task immediately thereafter. Nice ball right into the box. Trickles right through, and Bedford's going to have a chance to try to get it out of there. Kenzie Forrester trying to turn the corner, sends it up the line. Held there by Elena Mirke, and the ball out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw up here on the near side. Correction, it'll be a Hanover throw, and the ball sent back in. Ball volleyed into the offensive end of the field, I believe by Jenna Dindorf, the junior. Played a lot of defense last year, is playing more on the front line for the Bulldogs this year.
Those goals that Bedford scored on Tuesday night, just 2 nights ago, I noticed uniquely that only 2 of them were scored by a senior. All the others were underclassmen.
Yep.
If I was the coach, I'll tell you, I'd be thrilled.
There's a lot of skill in that younger group, too, though. If you look at Anna Diaz, who started as a freshman for a large part of the year last year and is not terribly big in stature, but in terms of soccer knowledge, strength, and kind of escapability, and Anna with the ball there tried to send it up the right side unsuccessfully, but she plays maturely beyond her years and certainly punches higher than her class. I guess if we're talking boxing terms, that would be how I describe Anna. She doesn't play small.
I know that on the boys' side, the Bedford team is almost 100% club players that are playing. Many of them play together, and they're playing against some of their teammates when we play the other top teams. What about the girls?
The girls are a mixed bag. You have girls playing from various different programs, and that's always a unique thing, regardless of whether it's soccer, baseball, you name it. The only one where you really don't have people playing travel is football. But with everything else, whether it's Kevin Gibbs to our left, coaching basketball and having girls who are in different programs, different philosophies, you have to find a way to make your team sort of meld regardless of any philosophy, anything that they've been taught. You're not necessarily fooling with fundamentals, but the way that you manage a game is going to be different than how a travel coach might. So different programs, different personalities, and some girls on this team who don't play travel at all. So we're still scoreless. We're TV only, right? We are not radio. Okay, so I don't have to pathologically give the score every 90 seconds, so that's good. Bill Jennings getting a kick out of that comment. It's scoreless regardless. If you don't want to look at the graphic on the bottom of your TV, less than 5 minutes into the first half of soccer, and Jennings is already in stitches.
And let me put a quick shout out to Mr. Jennings. Thank you very much. We didn't have to go to the SAG situation and go on strike. He met all of our requirements this year to renew our contracts, Lauren, as you know. And,
that's, it's I would expect nothing less here in the town of Bedford.
And it was great to see Andrew back up here behind the camera once again.
Oh, always. Like, that means a franchise. Lana Morris had a chance at it. Now the ball rattles around. Anna Diaz with a shot. And ball knocked around, but nothing doing there. And right back the other way comes Hanover. Up the near side is Sydney McLaughlin, but the ball just outside of her reach. And now McKenna Snow on the back line. And that's another thing that is a bit of a change for the Bulldogs. McKenna was a frontline player last year. A lot of speed, a lot of strength, and a howitzer for a leg, a cannon for a leg. McKenna's on the back line now and has the ability to make some long runs up front as well.
On that run down the field by Hanover, I noted that it was four Bedford players were back defending, and that certainly it's not just the goalkeeper. As you know, Lauren, and most of our spectators surely know, it's a team effort, and that looked really nice. I like the way that our backs defended that.
And they do a good job chasing. McKenna is fast, and that makes her vital when it comes to playing on that back line. Front line for Bedford, Forrester on the near side. And up front with her as well is Jenna Dindorf on the near side.
A lot of people are probably aware of the fact that the Bedford coach has been here for the entire tenure of Bedford High School's opening.
She is, yep. It's Michelle Winning, of course, and on the other side, Doug Kennedy coaching for Hanover. But yes, Coach Winning has been here well over 200 wins at this point in her career.
216, I believe, unless that doesn't count Tuesday night's win.
I don't know. You may be keeping tabs of these things.
I'm trying.
I am not. 0-0, as Sean Diaz would say. 33-21 left here in the first.
On the pitch.
On the pitch. And neither team has really mounted much of a threat, with the exception of what we saw in the first minute, a penalty right outside the box, and a great save made by the keeper Spittle for Bedford. Now it's the senior Kate Michael, sends it up front to Janet Dindorf, back to Kate. Now to the near side to Kenzie Forrester, up the line. Kenzie fights for the ball, gets it, keeps it, sends it toward the box, and the keeper Sadie Ross will make the save for Hanover.
Bedford had a player to the left of the keeper there that, too bad that she didn't loft the ball over towards her, was unmarked. May have had a very good opportunity to score.
Now Hanover back the other way. A player tripped at midfield, and that one called, and I don't know who that one was whistled on. Hard to make the number out from here. It looks like, nope, can't make it out. The jerseys have changed from last year to this year as well. The numbers are slightly more challenging to read. The JV players are wearing last year's varsity jerseys, which have kind of more block numbers on them. Forrester sends it up the line. Nothing doing. It'll be a Hanover throw.
I think the only rule change, Lauren, and actually I told you when we got here that there were not any rule changes. There is one. It's with regard to the ability for players to wear electronic transmitting devices, not to communicate, but for tracking purposes, for stats and whatnot. It has been approved by the Federation.
Interesting.
So maybe we could get a hold of the software and be able to tell who's who on a little map.
Right, seriously. I don't
It's
see
so hard.
any of our players wearing anything, but you can sometimes tell by virtue of the shoe they're wearing. It's Lana Morris with it up the near side to Forrester. She's got Diaz in the middle. Anna's got the ball just outside the 18, back to the middle to Lana. Lana with a couple dribbles, challenge there, and winds up sending it toward the net where Ross will pick it up.
I think that pass was deflected. I don't know if she saw that right wing sort of player over there. That's twice that she's been unmarked and open.
Now Bedford back with the ball again, challenging up the far side. And Diaz once again comes up with it, controls it, sends it to the back line, where Snow will take her time with it. Back to the near side, now back to the middle to Kylie Morris. Kylie Morris with her twin sister Lana in the middle, sends it toward the net, and over the end line, it'll be a goal kick there for Hanover.
Bedford and Hanover tend to be somewhat in the same sense, highly skilled teams year after year after year, well coached. The girls' coach has not been on the sideline there, I don't think, very long. The boys' coach, Rob Grable, is still coaching. He must be in like his 30-something or close to 40th year up there.
Wow.
Consistency.
That's a long time to be anywhere. Coming up the near side is McLaughlin, and busting in to knock the ball away from McLaughlin is the freshman Addie Kiley, who made a big impact last year on the Lurgio, the junior high team. And Kiley this year starting from the get-go, and you have Kylie and Kylie, but two different players. One's a senior, one's a freshman. Hanover getting into their offense. McLaughlin with it, trying to make a move around her defender. A little bit of hand checking there, nothing doing around Michael. And now Hanover will send it toward the net, but deflected there. Diaz tries to get it out, does. Gets it to Lana Morris. Lana back to Anna. Anna sends it up the far side in a dead sprint for the ball. Was the Bulldog right winger.
When the ball's played straight down the field, it gives the advantage to the defense almost 100% of the time. As ball's going quickly straight back, the defender can run straight down the field and pick it up.
And her basketball coach, Kevin Gibbs, alerts me to the fact that that was Annie Zink over on the far side. Easy to make out when you happen to spend an entire season with a player. I should have known it was Annie from the other night because that's where she does play, but memory not what it used to be. Well,
wait till you get to be my age, Lauren.
I just got too much stuff going on. Ball sent in by Snow. Now bounces around for a bit. Hanover trying to send it out. We're scoreless here. 28-20 left here in the first half. Hanover back the other way. Campfield with it, still with it. And knocked away from her. So it will be Hanover. Ball there on a kick from the football 40-yard line.
Not sure what that foul was.
Didn't look particularly egregious, but I'll leave the chirping the officials to you. I've turned over a new leaf, perhaps a new forest. So I figure you've earned the right as a former official to kind of say whatever you want about them.
With caution, with caution.
I mean,
who's going to? I don't want to get a reputation.
Like, come at me, man. Yeah, what are you going to do? You don't want to get a reputation. You've already got one. There's nothing to be done about that.
That is true.
Forrester sends it up. Nice little overhead kick up the near side. Lana Morris had a shot at the ball, and they say that it did go off the Hanover player, so now it'll be Kate Michael on the throw. Kate sends it in. Lana, first touch, back to Kate. Up the side to Forrester, but out of her reach. It'll be a goal kick for Hanover.
Don't know the current status, but probably about the same as last year with regards to officials. Very much in need. I know there There was some article about the football officials really hurting now as well. I think they were doing a little bit better because a football official can continue on many more years after the soccer official really has to consider not being fit enough to do a good job.
Absolutely. The amount of running that officiating a soccer game requires, I wouldn't really want to do it. Not because I can't, just because it's just a lot of running.
Hey,
You know, I mean,
it sure is.
it's not enjoyable. Keep you in shape, but still. Ball up the far side. It's Zink. Sends it into the middle. Deflected by Hanover. It'll be a Bedford corner kick from the far side. I feel like I went the entire JV game without seeing a single Bedford corner kick.
What was the score?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1 the final.
Bedford.
Bedford.
Had to be Bedford.
It was Bedford.
I got to say nice things about Hanover too. Or Bill Jennings will put up the yellow card and give me a warning. I already have, as a matter of fact, though.
Yeah, the FCC's all over you, dude. Scoreless game, 25:50 left here in half number one. That one sent in, a little deflection into the box and sent out. I think it was Jesse Black taking the corner kick. And I don't know who sent it out of bounds. Might have been Sloan Correa, but it did not go off of Sloan. It went off of Hanover.
Bedford player's sister?
The boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Richie's. Richie's a senior,
Richie.
and Jessie is a sophomore. Did not play in the program last year, but decided after taking the year off, she had been primarily a swimmer, decided that after taking the year off, she wanted to come back to soccer, and so really dedicated herself to it over the course of the spring as well as summer, and came back as somebody that I was told probably early summer was going to be an impact player on the varsity level. At least somebody who knows more than I do about soccer told me that, and sure enough, seeing her in the scrimmages preseason and now, I will say that I agree with it.
Starting here this evening, absolutely.
Physical player, very athletic, and scored a goal the other night.
Very competitive program, both here and up in Hanover.
It is.
The Upper Valley.
Certainly. And people take their soccer seriously in both communities, and that makes a big difference. Now, Bedford back the other way. Lana Morris with it, loses it. Or check that. That was Jenna Dindorf, not Lana. And now back into the middle. Hanover trying to control it, but really can't clear it. Now Nora Ripple with it. Nora had a header for a goal the other night and may have just committed a penalty at the 40-yard line, the football 40, and it'll be a Hanover kick.
The center back, Miss Fitzgerald for Hanover, has been pretty consistent. Like her skills.
I am still trying to figure out who the players are for Hanover because the roster is not numerical. It is by grade and then by height. It is not by height. It's just confusing when it's not by number.
It took me a while to locate that.
Makes it hard to find somebody. Yep.
It does.
Yeah, by the time you figure out who they are, they're out of the play.
Maybe we'll have to propose a rule change.
So it will be I didn't see what the penalty was. Andrew fended, I'm confident, but it will be a Hanover kick from the 25. Callie Spittles earning her paycheck here today.
Goal.
That one up over her head, off the crossbar. Hanover had a shot at it, couldn't convert. Now the ball trickles over the end line. Not sure whether it would be a corner kick or a goal kick, but a big one. That one went right off the crossbar and right into the thigh of the freshman Grace Stewart, who was not able to convert. There was nobody between her and the net. She's going to be seeing that one in her sleep. She had a goal in game one, that win over Nashua North, and almost had a second one here in game two.
In girls soccer, more than boys, the keepers don't seem to be necessarily the taller players on the team.
Callie's not short.
How tall is she?
5'5", 5'6".
5'6".
I may be wrong.
I was looking at some of our former players in their records. A number of the goalkeepers on some of the college teams are no taller than 5'9", which really kind of surprised me.
And I don't think that one knocked around in the box. Callie will pick it up. I don't believe Zoe Santos was more than about 5'4", but strong player and fearless in there.
I think she's listed on the roster down at the Citadel as 5'6".
Okay.
And
that may be.
She's getting some playing time. She played. There's actually 5 goalkeepers on the
Yikes.
Citadel team.
Hanover coming back the other way down the far side, being chased out, and nice defensive play made by the Bulldogs. It'll be a Hanover throw. Continue, sorry.
Although Zoe's a freshman, she's the only one that's gotten more than 10 minutes playing time. She played almost half of one of their first 4 matches. Their record down there at the Citadel is 2-1-1.
Oh, wow. All right. Good for her. Good player. Again, very good athlete. And for those who don't know about the Citadel, as Bedford tries to clear it out, unable to do so, the ball being volleyed around there by Kate Michael. And now Hanover sends it into the box. Bedford still can't quite get it out. Ping pong. And Bedford still trying to clear it and get it away from the net. And now they'll have a throw from the far side. For those who don't know, though, the Citadel, without being one of the main service academies, is, for all intents and purposes, a military academy. And so you go down there as a freshman and you have not only the culture shock of I'm not at home and I'm not getting the home cooking, I'm also not getting necessarily as much sleep as I would. I'm being forced to manage every aspect of my life differently than I have ever had to in my life. So it is complicated, and for Zoe to be a D1 athlete and navigating that while navigating the Citadel at the same time says a lot about who she is.
It certainly takes a lot of character, and broad skills, as you just described very eloquently, Lauren.
Bedford with a kick sends it over midfield. That last little sequence there, not comfortable for the Bulldogs, certainly not for the keeper, Callie Spittle, but she's acquitting herself well in her first, or I guess I should say second, varsity start. You do have another one on the roster who is listed as a keeper but will play out. That's Maggie Fox. Maggie will tell you that she's 5'9". I'll just leave that at that. Oh, hey, there's Maggie.
I won't. Is she in?
Maggie is playing striker right now,
Oh.
wearing the bright yellow shoes.
Yes.
So, but
Almost had a touch.
was not thinking that that one was going to find time out of the net, but yet here we are, and playing striker and throwing the body around a little bit and giving players a little bit of time. So looking at these two rosters, Hanover has 21 on this varsity roster, if it's the same roster that I saw online earlier today. Bedford's varsity roster is not that deep. If you look, I think there are 16, and there may be 3 down because of some sort of injury at this point. And so for the Bulldogs, they have to sort of get minutes out of everybody where they can so that they can keep everybody fresh and not banged up. Now Bedford back the other way. It's Kylie Morris up the far side fighting and asking for, after the ball is knocked away, Kylie will be taking the throw, maybe, and instead winds up giving away.
Bedford's got 16 on the roster. I just quick counted, and it does look like there's roughly 21 people.
16 on the roster.
Young ladies for Hanover.
16 on the roster, but there are 3 who are down at the moment because of injury. So you're playing with 13, and they have 1 swing up, Makita Berry as well. Yes. You have 1 swinging up from JV. Don't know how much we will see Makita in today's game. She did play in the junior varsity game earlier today as well. So ball being fought for in midfield. Forrester jockeying for possession. Now Michael going after it. And the ball sent out of bounds on the near side. It'll be a Bedford throw.
The other Bedford player that is in college and hopes to make an impact on the program down at Providence College is Araceli Cloutier.
Yeah, what have you seen anything that Araceli's done to this point?
No, she does not have any playing time online that I could find. However, when you consider that program and the level of play, and there's quite a few seniors plus quite a few foreign players. They've got, players from Sweden, Norway. I think there's a German young lady and whatnot. There's a lot of competition, but I'm sure she's going to get some time.
Diaz with the ball at midfield, sends it over to the far side. I believe Is that still Annie over there? Sends it off of Annie Zink. Okay, she just came. I thought that was her that came back in. And out of bounds, it'll be Hanover throw far side. Now Maggie Fox with it, jostling for position and unable to control. And now sent back to the middle where Kylie Morris with a spin move, looking for Kate Michael on the near side, couldn't find her. Now Kenzie Forrester on the left side, sends it to Kenzie. Kenzie left side, going for a cross, can't complete it, but it'll be off of Hanover. It'll be a Bedford throw over here on the near side, taken by Kate.
I don't think anybody would have expected this to be another blowout like
Not a
we
chance.
saw Tuesday. Not
a
at
chance.
all. Hanover's a much stronger program.
And with a number of these Hanover players, we were talking about some of the travel experience that these players have. Well, some of the Hanover players also play with the Bedford players. So you're talking about a talent level and an experience level that's kind of on a par with one another. So, again, one of those strange things that we didn't have when we were kids where you'd go to another town and you'd say, all right, we're playing against guys who are our teammates. We didn't have that.
Right.
My guys are my guys. And here now they're going, and it's a little bit more collegial, and you've been with people, but you still want to beat them. Nice job poking the ball away. Lana Morris with it. Jockeys for possession. Now finds Forrester. Forrester on the near side. Sends it back to the middle. Kylie Morris. Kylie sends it toward the net where the keeper, Sadie Ross, comes up with it. Maggie gives chase. Nothing doing there, but hey, you never know. Keeper bobbles. You wind up getting a chippy.
You may recall one of the things that I've always said, you don't score unless you shoot.
Yep.
Usually.
Hey, you got to chase it down. You never know. So
Hey.
Hanover with it, far side.
Women's World Cup, there was one goal scored, own goal. I don't know if you saw that one, but rather embarrassing.
My wife told me about it. I think I was driving back from Fenway when it happened. But yes, I did hear about it.
Not the way you want, especially at that level, you want something to happen like that.
Now the ball being sent in by Hanover. Callie Spittle will pick it up just inside the 18. 14:30 remains here in the first half. I'm not in midseason form.
You will be soon.
Yep. We only have 6 home games this year. We have 11 road games and 6 home games. Kind of a bizarre scheduling quirk this year, but regardless, for these Bulldogs, they're going to have to learn how to play in different conditions. Kylie Morris controlling the ball like she's got it on a remote. Now Kylie sends it up over top, looking for Lana and looking for a little Morris to Morris. Instead, Maggie Fox with it sends it over to the far side where Annie Zink will possess it. Nice job by Maggie just poking the ball out, keeping the possession, and the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw from the far side.
Substitutes from both sides.
Maggie out, I believe. That's Vashi Bajpai coming in. And Vashi also played in the JV game earlier, did a great job. She's a junior, very explosive, good goal scorer. So I'm excited to see what she'll be able to do at the varsity level. She is definitely a polished soccer player.
Not positive, but that last foul, I think, was the same one that was from before. The official on the far side tends to interpret handball very strictly.
Oh, okay. We were talking about this earlier because last year I tended to see a lot of, I guess, incidental or unintentional handballs called.
Yes.
Where you're running and the ball goes off your hand and they call a handball and you're not attempting to direct it, it just glanced it. Now, Anna Diaz with it over to the far side to Zink.
Oh, back to D. Look at this. Look at this. I like it. Oh.
Now to Vashi. Vashi sends it just to the right of the net. Good sequence there.
Great chance. Some good passing. Girls looking up, knowing where each other are, and then that last play just not a quality finish.
So, is it at the discretion of the official? Is it like calling balls and strikes where you establish your zone or what your penalty is? And
It is interpretation, and
okay.
some officials will, just like with some other calls, let charges go that
Yep.
if they don't think it's quite violent enough to make it a a foul. The handball is something that's
We just had a whistle on the far side. I think it was more of a trip. It was a leg that went flying out. That was where the call was, and it was a really quick reset by Hanover, setting it up the far side, but nothing doing there. It'll be a Bedford throw.
From deep in the Bedford end, coming back out. Now, I mean, you see, especially in the two referee system like we have here tonight, where you may have one official who calls a game totally differently than his partner does. That's one of the reasons why the three official, the diagonal system, where you have one referee with a whistle, two linesmen, or assistant referees that can help, but they don't actually make the calls. It gives you more consistency across the entire field for a better game.
Addie Kiley sends it up, loses the ball, now fighting for it. Dribbling toward midfield, gets it to Kenzie Forrester. Kenzie looking for Lana Morris. Instead, she'll be in a foot race with the defender from Hanover. Now the left foot back to the middle. Kenzie sends it again on a cross, but her offensive player was just ahead of her. Bedford with a little bit of a chance to try to get the ball, or hold the ball in the offensive end, I guess I should say, and sent out of bounds by Hanover to be a Bedford throw from the far side.
I think we may need a referee to watch these two little ball kids.
Yeah, they're
going after each other.
Small children are about to destroy each other here on the sideline. Now Hanover with it.
Not
threatening again. Kylie Morris looks up the far side. Nothing there, and thought it was knocked out by Hanover. Both players pointed their direction, and it'll wind up that it is a Bulldog throw. Ball goes up the far side. Zink with a chance at it. Now Morris. Two players kind of scuffling for it. And Diaz dribbles around a bit. Back to Kylie Morris. Now back to Vashi. Vashi has it go off her foot, and the ball sent back to midfield. And right back the other way with Addie Kiley, who thankfully is wearing a red headband. Lana Morris chases into the offensive end, winds up stealing the ball, now has time, sends it to the middle to Kenzie Forrester, but
corner. Just under 10 minutes left now.
Lana had all manner of time there and was running like a point guard, and I'd give her all the credit in the world for keeping her pulse rate low as the play was developing around her. So now it'll be a corner from the Bulldogs. Forrester to take it, sends it into the box. Nice one, a header, and right back to Kenzie. Kenzie again will send it into the box, over the head of the keeper, Ross, and also over the crossbar. And it'll be a goal kick.
That would have been nice.
For Hanover.
Went over the keeper in the corner.
Yeah, it looked for all the world like it was going to for a second, but
it certainly appeared there was a
didn't
chance
happen.
of that.
8:45 remains here in the first half, still scoreless. I feel bad for all the people in front of us that have to listen to me talk the whole game, and well, me more than you because I'm by the open window. Now McKenna Snow sends it far side, stolen by Hanover, now back toward the middle. And another long run made by, thought it was Sydney McLaughlin, but it's not. Now Kiley pokes it away. That's Addie Kiley. Now to Forrester, tried to find the middle, nothing doing. Lana Morris winds up scooting back, sends it all the way to the far side. Great ball, but Annie Zink couldn't quite get there in time, and the ball sent out of bounds. It'll be Bedford throw far side.
But she did get there, and she forced the Hanover player to just give up the throw. Conditioning certainly a major, major part of this, not just for the officials, but the players.
Yes, and this early in the season, too, you can tell the players that have been conditioning and the ones that have not.
Doesn't happen very often, but when I bump into one of my players from back in the late 70s, 80s, they all typically say one thing. We maybe weren't the best players on the field, but like you told us, we were always going to be able to play the full 80 minutes.
Hanover coming back the other way, taking their time. The Bedford defense kind of sagging around them. Addie Kiley doing a great job to pick off that pass to the middle. Ball sent back into the box, and Callie Spittle will come out and get it. And it will be Bedford trying to flip the field with about 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Kiley to Michael. Kate looking, trying to send things up the near side to Forrester.
Nice touch.
Great touch by Lana Morris. Back to Kenzie. Kenzie up the left side, taking her time. Now has a chance to sort of reset a bit, sends it into the box, and
Offsides.
just threw in an offside called, and it'll be a kick for Hanover.
Seems like the back and forth play certainly is taking a little bit of a toll on these young ladies, but the Bedford seems to have a little higher percentage of better passing. Hopefully we'll end up with some more opportunities to take some good shots.
And this is one of those games that it might be a shot or two that make all the difference.
Exactly.
Forrester to Michael. Michael taking her time, sends it off the Hanover defender. Bedford throw, now to Forrester. And Kenzie and the Hanover player kind of scuffling for it. It looked like it went off of the Hanover player, who then tried to pick the ball up, Mia Bagnato, but no avail there. Michael will send it in, a high ball. And now back over to the near side. It's off of Kate. It'll be a Hanover Bear throw with 5:40 left here in a scoreless first half.
There are some coaches that actually do coach to pick up the ball if it's something that looks like a 50-50 or 40-60 one way or the other. Signal with your hand, and sometimes you'll get some of the officials that will let you take it.
Never know.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, it's one of those bizarrely arbitrary things. As the ball is sent out of bounds, it'll be a Bedford throw. And I can tell that one's a Bedford throw because it went about 50 yards down the field, maybe more, and Kate Michaels giving chase. I don't know where our ball kids went.
They chased each other,
Yeah,
I think, to the concession stand.
It's Thunderdome underneath the bleachers, and two kids enter, and we'll see what happens next.
Wow.
This is
exercise.
Here's a soccer-related question for you. Well, I guess I already know the answer. It's interesting that with all the talk about communication, why the official wouldn't have the ability to communicate with the press box to put time back on the clock so that everybody would know accurately how much time was left in a game. Ball sent back into the middle. Diaz, Forrester with the left foot, picked away by Hanover. And now Bagnato for Hanover steals and a 50-50 ball, but that one immediately pointed out by the official. It'll be a Hanover throw to our left.
First time that Forrester, I think, has not been able to control that ball and make a pass into the middle or take a shot.
She is certainly showing her
Looking
speed.
really good
That's a
Yep.
big weapon, too. Now Addie Kiley fighting for the ball on the near side. She's going to have to give chase. And the ball sent back. Kylie Morris sends it to Callie Spittle, and Callie will send it over to the far side where it's picked off there by Hanover. Hanover holding the ball in. Now the ball back to the middle and volleyed around for a second there and sent right back. Hanover controlling the ball. And Sophie Wise now with it, taking her time, letting the game sort of develop around her. And, or check that, that is not Wise, that is Eleanor Bradley, and she goes down just outside the box. And they will be calling a penalty right there. It'll be a kick for Hanover. Penalty drawn by Eleanor Bradley, and from the parents sitting beneath us, I would say that they don't necessarily agree with the call, that it might have been a bit of a dive. But regardless, it will be another golden opportunity for Hanover. They've had, at this point, they had the one about a minute in that Spittle made the nice diving save on. They had the one off the crossbar that the freshman Stewart had a shot at, and then they had this one where Spittle caught it and cradled it.
No hesitation right there, followed the ball in. I think that probably was a foul, and I think it was a good foul to, in quote, to give.
It's a difficult angle right there, yeah. Now Hanover back the other way. They've had the golden opportunities. They've had 3 of them off of set pieces. They haven't converted any of them yet. And the Bulldogs haven't had any of that. I feel like if we were doing time of possession, it would be skewed toward Hanover at this point, at least time in the offensive end. Now back the other way come the Bulldogs. Lana Morris fighting for the ball, hand checking a little bit. Kenzie Forrester somehow winds up with it and sends it just inside the 18 where it's handled by keeper Sadie Ross.
And Lauren, your time question as far as the communication between the officials, until now, the official time is actually the time on the clock.
Okay.
However, now we're in that 2-minute period for the first half when the officials on the field are keeping the time. And that's predominantly because of the fact that sometimes players will play some games to delay the game. And it gives the discretion then to the officials that if somebody's trying to, not play sportsmanlike, they can stop the clock.
McLaughlin up the left side for Hanover. Sends the ball off a Bedford defender, then right off of her. It'll be a Bedford goal kick. And Callie Spittle will take her time with it. Sees what's going on. Now sends it to Kylie. Now to Kate Morris. Or Kate Michael, I should say.
Got about a minute left here to see if Bedford can make something happen and prevent some surprise at the other end of the field.
Anna Diaz, Addie Kylie, Lana Morris. Now to Kenzie Forrester, sent back to the middle. And ball will be rattled around over there and sent out of bounds by Hanover. And Bedford's going to need a quick throw, not a whole lot of time left.
I think Forrester was trying to cross that all the way to the far side, which would have been great if hit just a little bit harder, but her legs got to be a little bit oxygen deprived or something there right now.
A lot of running for Kenzie here in the first half. Now Hanover coming back the other way. Michael forces
Nice trap
Emma
by the referee.
Campfield out of bounds. The senior captain for Hanover. Now Morris with it. Looking, finds Forrester after a nifty move up the near side. Forrester sends it off the Hanover defender and out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford corner kick, assuming that we have time.
The half is over,
so
Lauren.
that will end the half. So our scoring in the first half, well, we just talked about it. There was none. Hanover had some great opportunities. Offset pieces, we discussed those earlier as well. The one about a minute in, the one that Grace Stewart almost had the opportunity to cash in, and then the third one over here from the near side, but Hanover unable to do so. Callie Spittle doing a great job in net for the Bulldogs, and as such, we're through the first 40 minutes scoreless. So we'll take a break. Anything you want to add before the break?
First half defensive play and showing a lot of skill from both teams without the finish, but like you said, the better chances have gone to Hanover, and we're a little lucky that at least on one of them, that ball to hit the crossbar, that could have been it.
I will agree.
We'll see what happens.
Without further ado, we'll send it to Andrew Fenn and the crew of BCTV. Scoreless game. Back for the second half after this.
We're on.
Welcome back to Bedford High School for half number 2 of the season opener, or the season home opener, I should say, for the Bedford Bulldogs. Lauren Fox alongside Bill Klein. And we'd like to welcome our guests all around the country that are watching girls soccer here in Bedford. Scoreless first half, Hanover with the best opportunities by far. A diving save made by Callie Spittle, and then another one off the crossbar where a freshman for Hanover had an opportunity, couldn't convert, and the Bulldogs really didn't have a whole lot. That one sent over the net, over the head of Hanover goalie Sadie Ross. And that was about as much activity as we really saw in the first half from the Bulldogs here in about the first 30 seconds of the second half.
Coach Winning may have fired them up. Said, we got to get shots. They just did. Not a bad one either. Not
a bad one at all. Hanover back the other way, a little jostling right around midfield. And the ball is sent back into the offensive end and will be knocked out of bounds.
Kind of hard to believe, Lauren. It's actually been 10 months, basically, since we've been here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Finals were beginning of November.
Finals were the beginning of November down at Stello Stadium, that 1-0 win. I actually just saw the fathers of Zoe Santos and Grace Crowder, 2 big players in that game. Now Lana Morris with it, sends it up the near side, Annie Zink. And Zink with Sloan Correa to her right, sends it to Sloan. Sloan can hold it in. She does. Sends it toward the middle, but couldn't quite get over the ball enough and sends it out of bounds.
Here's some analytic factoids for you.
What do you got?
2010. Since then, which team has the most championships?
The Boston Red Sox. I don't have
You're a
any-
baseball guy. What should we all expect?
I don't have an answer for you.
If you
the
didn't
team
know
that has
that,
the
you
most
do
championship,
now.
Exeter.
Exeter.
Yes,
Seven.
I knew.
Seven.
I know that. Yeah, and that's not surprising.
7. Bedford
And
2.
Bedford has, I think, the most runners-up in that group as
Yes.
well.
9 appearances along with Exeter.
Yep.
The only that have more than 4. Londonderry has 4 appearances. No championship.
Wow, that's like the Buffalo Bills of Southern New Hampshire's girls soccer, if there was such a thing.
But that's football.
That is.
The Bills are football, right?
I know. Yes.
What's a Buffalo baseball team?
Bisons. Or bison, if you want to, I guess, be grammatically correct, but they call them the Bisons regardless. We're still scoreless. I can see my wife shaking her head as she's driving furiously toward Bedford High School to watch the culmination of this game. Ball sent out of bounds, and it'll be a Hanover throw on the far side. The Bears coming back the other way. And a Bedford body goes down. Now, really a little bit of hand checking on the part of Hanover as well. And that one called there. It'll be a Bedford kick. I think that one whistled on Sophie Wise.
And we do have proof as to what, relative to what Lauren mentioned just a bit across the country, that we have had in the past. We've gotten feedback that grandparents out as far as all the way to the coast, California coast.
I know there are people watching in Kansas right now, so that. Now the ball is sent up the near side. Sloan Correa doing a great job holding the ball in. Gets it to Anna Diaz. Takes her time. Sends it back to the middle. Addison Kiley. Addie, I should say. Now back to the far side. And Jenna Dindorf will jockey for position toward the middle. Nothing doing there. And most of this game has been played between the 25-yard lines. Really, if we're talking about it using the football field as our benchmark, most of it's been around midfield.
True, with many of the passes quality, but that was just like a little kickball back and forth over there. I didn't see any intent of anybody really making an effort to settle the ball and then do something with it. Both teams, both sides.
Hanover throw toward the end line. Bedford kind of struggling to clear it. Now the ball back to Hanover, sent into the box. Couple heads on it, and the ball almost past Spittle, still rattling around in there, and somehow she comes up with it. It went off her hand, straight up into the air, and somehow on the ground she maintained possession of the ball, so this game remains scoreless. 35 minutes remaining in it.
Great effort by the Bedford keeper, no question about that.
Now the ball sent into the box. This one a little bit less stressful. Callie will pick it up and have a chance to get her pulse under control and take her time.
Exactly what I was thinking. Give her a chance to gather herself together, calm everybody else down as well, and let her teammates get down the field.
Sends the ball out. Kylie Morris with it. Ball stolen by Hanover. Now Wise will send it back to the Hanover defender. And over to McLaughlin, now toward the middle. And the ball knocked away there by...
Good no call.
Yep, very good no call. Now Lana Morris with it. Lana being challenged there by Hanover. A couple players with their arms around each other. And I'm not sure who I heard yelling more, Bedford players or Hanover players, or fans,
Parents.
I should say. But Eleanor Bradley, somehow Lana Morris had her arm around Eleanor Bradley. And now Hanover trying to get rid of the ball, clear the ball out, but nothing doing over there. Kate Michael winds up keeping things in for the Bulldogs. Ball sent far side.
Unlucky there. Should be a goal kick, but the lead official is actually looking back at the trail official before he made the call for the goal kick. Difficult in the two-man system. In that far corner, I've seen that a couple times tonight where it wasn't immediately decided which way the ball was going to be going.
Kylie Morris, a header off the goal kick. And winds up as a Ball possessed by Hanover, now back the other way for the Bulldogs. And there it is. Eleanor Bradley dribbling across midfield, sends it up the far side to McLaughlin. Now off a Hanover player's foot, and back the other way come the Bulldogs. Looked like it was Diaz to Kenzie Forrester. And now back to Kenzie. Anna pokes the ball away over there. Gets it up to Lana Morris. Lana taking her time, sends it back to the middle, just behind
Nice play.
Looked like Anna Diaz. Now Addie Kiley with it into space as the ball knocked away from her. And back the other way, out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw from the far side. Bulldogs, a lot of new players. We talked about this. They had 9 seniors last year, and not seniors that were taking up space at the end of the bench. Seniors that were playing active roles on the team, whether it was Grace Crowder, Araceli Cloutier, who we talked about, Zoe Santos, Ava Dubois, Grace Odell, but a lot of players that made a really big impact over the year. Anna Stavropoulos as well. Many that really made a big difference. And so to try to replace that and replace that institutional knowledge takes a lot of work. And the Bulldogs holding on pretty well here. Scoreless, 31-40 left here in the first, or in the game, as the ball is knocked away from Annie Zink over on the near side, and it'll be a Bedford throw. See who takes it.
If you're not here locally watching the game, the temperature right now here in Bedford, 63 degrees. Very little breeze, if any.
Game time temperature
Dry.
brought to you by Bill Jennings. Generosity of the sponsorship of Mr. Jennings. And the ball sent up the far side. Hanover, again, trying to burst, but nothing doing. And Bedford will send the ball away. Addie Kiley, again, playing stopper back there, doing an excellent job in her first home game as a Bulldog. And now looks like up the far side go the Bulldogs, but nothing doing there. The ball knocked away, and it will be a Hanover throw.
Very fortunate to have this nice weather, and of course, our thoughts go out to all the people that have just gone through the mess down in the South, Florida, etc., Georgia, Southern Carolinas. One of my friends who is a former soccer referee actually drove a Red Cross van down earlier this week to help out.
Zink to Morris, trying to find Correa, can't. Now Correa giving chase to the middle, or Correa, I should say. I added a second vowel into the pronunciation. My apologies to Doug and Jess for butchering your name. It will never happen again. 29:55 remains here in the game. Still scoreless. It looks like all it's going to take is one, and Hanover's had the best chances so far. That much is sure. There are some that are going to be nightmare fuel for them that should have gone in and did not. Now it's Diaz up the far side. Now back to the middle, looking for Morris, just over the head of Morris. Now Zink will fight for the ball and does a good job of somehow coming away with it. Now to Kylie Morris. Kylie looking, trying to find her twin sister Lana. Now dribbles to the middle. Ball rattles around in there. Kylie with it. Finds Lana, almost, not quite. Still waiting for the Morris to Morris, and we had a whistle there, and it looks like they got Lana for having her hand in the cookie jar. There'll be a penalty called against her, and Hanover will move back the other way at the 29-minute mark.
You're drawing a line on what's a foul and what isn't. That was a good call for him.
Now Lana sends it up the far side. Looked like she's looking for Jenna Dindorf, I thought. Nah, that's Kenzie Forrester. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Kenzie on a corner kick doing exactly what you talked about earlier. The ball went off of somebody. It was a 50-50 ball, and she signaled, nope, corner kick.
My ball.
Mine, and she's lining it up as if it is, and nobody's telling her it isn't. So
If we had replay, I would have loved to have seen that because I honestly think she was actually offsides on the pass to her. But
even better.
The official was out of position on the near side here.
Kenzie's corner kick into the box off of a Hanover defender. Somehow another Hanover defender winds up keeping it out of the net. and it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw far side. That is the best opportunity Bedford's had so far in this game, and it was a deflection. It was almost an own goal.
Yeah, that was. The goalkeeper was positioning in exactly the right spot. It's like you have two posts there. Hard to get the ball past just by accident, but
so
make something happen.
27:50 remains here in the game, still scoreless. The JV Bulldogs beat the JV Bears. Great slide tackle there by Kylie Morris, as that one is now sent up and over by Hanover, and things are getting a little bit frenetic. Now the ball possessed by Hanover, sent off of one of the offensive players, and sent toward Callie Spittle, and Callie will pick it up, get rid of it. But in that earlier game, the Bulldogs won 2-1. Both goals scored by my other kid, Libby Fox, and one off a wonderful assist from Cece Irwin, and the other one from Vashi Bajpai, who we were talking about earlier. So 2-1 win, well-played game. And, again, you talk about both of these teams. It's not just a varsity team. There are programs, there are levels beneath it where there's a high quality of play as well.
What grade is Libby in?
Freshman.
She is a freshman.
She
I
is
thought
a
she
freshman.
was, but I wasn't positive.
Scoreless game, 26-38 remain here in the game at this point. Jess Black in for the Bulldogs. Bedford just trying to get something done, get one in, one find the back of the net.
Opportunity here to real quick mention that Bedford's next game will be away at Wyndham on September the 5th. So after playing 2 games, just 2 days apart, they're going to get a little rest period. It's a 5 o'clock game over in Wyndham.
Lana to Anna, trying to find Lana again, nothing doing. Now Bedford fights for the ball on the offensive end. I will be there for that one as well, I think. I don't see any reason why I'm going to miss any of these games.
Is the house in session right now?
No.
Not your house, but the house.
No, thank God.
I actually knew the answer to that. I wouldn't have bothered asking.
That being in session during baseball season was enough. Soccer
gosh.
season would be another nightmare. Ball sent up the far side. Bedford on a mad sprint to it, but nothing doing. And it'll be right back the other way. My guess, based upon who that is and watching her run, was that it was Makita Berry, but unsure. Now, Bedford with the ball. Pocket picked by Hanover. Back the other way comes the Bears midfield. And Bedford's defense up to the task. Sends it out of bounds on the far side. 25 minutes left in the game.
It's always, like you were saying, just the one goal. And we've had a couple situations where it was almost a one goal in the net so far. But nothing really, neither team has been able to put together that drive at the end, a real true scoring drive, what I would say,
Neither team has really controlled it on offense. And in this case, it looked like Kylie Morris got sent to the ground by a Hanover player, and it will be Bedford trying to flip the field here. But we haven't seen either team to this point in the game really put together any sort of a sustained attack. It has been a lot of back and forth, and like we talked about earlier, a lot of back and forth between the 25-yard lines, which is where we are right now. Anna Diaz with it, takes her time, controls the ball. Jess Black near side, left foot back to Diaz, to the middle. Ball stolen from Anna, now back the other way. And Bedford does a nice job holding it in. And Hanover, again, trying to do their part just to keep things out of trouble, but nothing doing.
Hanover just, when I say collapsed, that's not a negative term. They brought a lot of defenders back quickly.
Yes.
And they had like a 2-1 or 3-1 advantage on us, which is a difficult group of players to get the ball through and around. It's been, as I said earlier, defensive. It's not been poorly played. It's just been more of a defensive game.
Ball sent into the box towards Sadie Ross. It bounces in front of her. She plays it on the hop, and it'll be Hanover with the ball again. Bulldogs just trying to find a way to make something happen at this point. Not a whole lot of in and out for the Bulldogs at this point. Just trying to find a way to use the combinations that they have on the field to generate some offense, and meanwhile keep Hanover out of the net. Ball sent up near side. Maeve Lee with it. Lee challenged, and great job by McKenna Snow to poke the ball away from Lee. Lee's an offensive threat. She's a captain, senior for the Bears, scored 3 goals, also known as a hat trick in game 1 against Nashua North. I will say Hanover's soccer program has a really well-updated website that gives game updates, and absolutely useful if you ever need to broadcast a game and do a little bit of research on them. You can get everything you would ever imagine. Ball stolen by Bedford, poked out of bounds. It'll be a Hanover throw far side.
I'm honestly very, very surprised at the number of high schools that do not put their rosters up on their websites. They're blank, which I don't really understand. I would think from a number of reasons you would want to promote your players, college coaches and whatnot, people.
We're not going to say what Kevin Gibbs just said on the air, but we will. I heard what he said, but I'm not going to repeat it. It does require a lot of work to get that information up
Yes, it
on a
does.
website, and oftentimes it falls in the hands of volunteers. So I can say that from the position of the baseball program where we put things up, but baseball season is at the same time heaven and hell for me, and so there's only so much that, that I can update on a website at any given time. Still scoreless here, by the way. Ball far side. Hanover having an opportunity for a throw for those who might be listening and not able to watch. Possibly driving a car somewhere. I don't know. It just might be a thing. Just under 21 minutes remain. And again, Hanover with another throw. Now controlling possession a bit. Bedford has just about everybody back with the exception of Lana Morris. And now back the other way. It's Anna Diaz flipping the field by herself. Just playing a little keep away to Addie Kiley. Kiley back to the middle. Now to McKenna Snow. Again, you have an offensive player who's very gifted. Now to Kylie Morris. Kylie looking for Lana up the middle, deciding, is it going to be Jess Black on my right? Is it going to be Lana? And tried to go Morris to Morris. Nothing doing there. Now Anna with the head to Lana. Back to the middle. Lana fighting for the ball. Now Anna Diaz fighting for it. Slide tackle there. Kylie with it just at the 30-yard line for football. And we'll send it out of bounds across the across the end line, I should say. And it'll be a goal kick for Hanover. But again, that was Bedford with a little bit of a frenetic offense just then, trying to find a way to get something going.
Another thought relative to media and whatnot, the fact that it took 2 days to get the Bedford girls score from the Tuesday game in the Union Leader.
And
It was in
well,
today's
newspapers
paper, but
aren't
that's the way
newspapers aren't quite what they
They're
used to
not
be.
what they used to
No.
be. No, not at all.
Well,
And
do you subscribe to one? Because I don't.
we do. We
Okay. So you're the one?
do. Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Still scoreless here.
Somebody's got to do it.
Ball sent into the middle. They don't negotiate. Like, there's no price negotiation. Now sent toward the keeper, Ross. She fields it on the hop, and she will get rid of it.
I'd say that 95% of what you see in the paper
It's syndicated.
it's stuff that it's not local information that's
No.
up to date. You can get everything online
Yes.
2 or 3 days before you get the paper in the mail.
Yes. It's like the Pony Express.
Yeah.
Bedford fighting with Hanover at midfield. Ball comes up. Kenzie Forrester with a shot at it. Nothing doing. Hanover tries to body check Kenzie on the far side. Can't get away with that one either. And now ball sent out of bounds and be Bedford throw far side.
Back in the late 70s, 80s, we had reporters at, I would say, at least half, if not
Oh, it was great.
more of our games consistently from either the Union Leader or the National Telegraph in this area.
And there were human beings who got paid to do a job.
And they were good people, too,
Absolutely.
that nominated some coaches for, Coach of the Year awards and stuff.
But never you.
No.
Never you.
No, I won't self-promote, Lauren.
Kevin Gibbs was nominated for that.
Someone
but
else
not
can
you.
do that.
Yep. It was Bill Klein, repeatedly. They call him the John Wooden of Southern New Hampshire soccer for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Scoreless game, just under 18 minutes remain here. And the ball, again, being played right along the midfield line. Nora Ripple clears it out. Lana Morris fighting for it. Now it's up the near side. Jenna Dindorf got green grass in front of her. Does Jenna. Looking up near side, finds Nora, gets in the way, uses the official as a screen, I guess. And now Nora taking her time, drags it toward the middle, nothing doing. Hanover sends it out of bounds. Bedford throw near side. Nice job by Nora just to get the ball upfield, and now the Bedford Bulldogs have a chance to kind of have a bit of a set piece, as it were. You're just trying to find the one that trickles off of somebody. Something weird happens, but you never know. Ball held in there by Sloan Correa. Lana Morris finds Kylie Morris. Kylie's got a shot at it at the end line, and it's in!
Goal!
Morris to Morris.
Goal!
I'll leave that to you.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Somehow, Lana found the seam and then found her twin sister, Kylie, who found nothing except green between her and the keeper, Ross. Took her time, kept her composure, and found the upper corner. And the Bulldogs, after 23 minutes and 4 seconds, or 63 minutes and 4 seconds, I should say, lead it 1-0.
Will the Bedford side do something different the way this game's gone and become even more defensive? Will Coach Winning make a change? I doubt it. She'd love to see another goal.
Love to see another goal, but really you don't care. It's not how many in this game. It's whether you emerge with more than the other team. And Hanover, which has been playing somewhat of a frenetic game to begin with, is now continuing to do that. Sends it back to the keeper, Ross. And if you're Ross at that point in time, and we'll be able to go back and look at that goal, and I'm sure she'll look at it too, but you have to make a quick decision about coming out to somebody, and they just whistled Lana Morris for being offside. But you have to make that quick decision as to whether you come out or whether you play it back. Exactly. And I don't know, in that situation, I don't know that either choice is a good choice. It's you want to come out and you cut that angle, but realistically, you come out and all she's got to do is take a dribble and she beats you right off.
Yeah, I would hedge towards the coming out, cutting down the angle.
That would be
charge it.
That would be my instinct, but at the point, Sadie Ross got a tough decision to make.
Oh, absolutely.
And particularly with somebody who's an attacking and talented mid like Kylie is, it's very tough.
Very much so. And as you indicated, later this evening maybe, those of you at home as well and people that are here will love to watch that replayed a couple times and see how the whole thing panned out. It was a good goal. I mean, it was a very, very nice controlled goal. I've seen players that are inside the goal area there, and they kick the ball over the crossbar, and that one went in the back of the net.
Stayed on top of it.
Yep.
Stayed over the ball.
Look at all the penalty kicks in USA women's game.
That,
over wide, all over the place.
That was nightmare fuel right there.
Oh, my gosh.
So we can now say the game's not scoreless. 1-0 Bulldogs. 15-10 remains here in the game. And Bedford leading Hanover. And for these Bulldogs, now what you're trying to do is still play with a degree of aggression, but be mindful of the fact that you have a lead. You don't want to change it too much, but you also want to make sure that the ball doesn't wind up in the net. I will say, too, for Hanover, they've had, 4 or 5 good opportunities to score and have come away with nothing. For the Bulldogs, that's been it. That's been about all there's been, is that one opportunity.
Yeah, I'd say the lack of finishing on Bedford has been partially taking really poor shots or poor passes, not making a good pass that will lead up to the goal, getting the assists. one of the players had, 4 assists in the game? Was it Diaz?
Diaz had 4 assists
4
and 2 goals
assists.
the other day. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And the 2 goals were both on headers for Anna, who's, I don't know, maybe 5'2"?
Which is serving the ball up into a position where you know your teammate can go to the ball.
And another one, Lana Morris up top. Boy, oh boy. Want to get a radar gun on that thing. Lana absolutely sent it from about 15 yards out.
That was a rocket, and the keeper actually, I believe, ball went straight through her upright arms.
She didn't have a whole lot of chance at it.
No, it was hit. It was struck so quickly and hard.
And again, we have another Morris to Morris, not a Morris to McCarthy. Yeah, you got to forgive Kevin Gibbs here for thinking that Lana McCarthy might have scored a goal on the soccer field, but never know. Anything's possible. We'll save her scoring for basketball season, I suppose. Volleyball, in a manner of speaking. If I can't give you a hard time, who can I give a hard time to? I mean, that was an honest mistake made by the perfect person to make the mistake. So, I mean, if there was anybody that it could be excusable for, it would be you. So, with that said, Bedford now leads it 2-0. Lana Morris from Kylie Morris returning the favor. I mean, you sit there and you think about, all right, first of all, Jess Morris, their mother, always wants to talk about the Morris to Morris goals. So you got 2 Morris to Morris tonight. Then the other thing is you'd say, all right, I'm going to buy you ice cream because you assisted on my goal. Now that negates. Like, they each assisted on each other's goal. What do you do now? Like, I don't know. Steak dinners? I have no answer, so I'm just talking hypotheticals. So I guess if it's the Morris household tonight, steak dinners for everybody.
Maybe it's
I'm not suggesting that.
New latest iPhones or some electronic
No,
thing,
you don't
games.
need anything. No.
No?
This is soccer season when these girls, like, you need calories, man. It's training every day. It's busy, so give them calories. Like, yeah, you're going to burn it all off. Between studying and soccer, you're going to burn everything off. 2-0 Bedford. 12 minutes remain here in the game. We had 2 goals within the span of, 3-4 minutes maybe. Lana Morris fighting for the ball and looked like she got tangled up with the defender for Hanover, which has been a relatively common occurrence today. It looked like it was Maeve Lee that was in the midst. And now the ball sent in, and it'll bounce to Sadie Ross, who came out for the ball but couldn't come past the 18 line. And as a result, came out for the ball and almost had it knocked away by Kylie Morris for another one. DJ Khaled. Andrew Fenn looks disapprovingly at me. 2-0 Bulldogs. 11:15 remains. Ball knocked away. It'll be a Bedford throw, it appears, on the near side. Nora Ripple trying to find herself a soccer ball. Nothing doing.
The teams are required to have ball persons available to keep the balls available for play.
And one did come back. Nora with it. Now tried to send it past the Hanover defender. Nothing doing.
Nice effort.
Gets it to Kylie. Now up the near side off of the foot of Annie Zink and out of bounds. And it will be a Hanover throw. You said the next Bulldog game is the 5th against Wyndham? Okay. Bill Klein is eating a Snickers bar. I just wanted to ask him a question as he's in the middle of eating something.
It's not a Snickers bar. My cardiologist could be listening to this.
Okay. It is something different that is wrapped in a wrapper that says Snickers, but it is not not a Snickers bar.
Stealth bar.
Yep. We're putting healthy things into there. It's actually a chicken breast in there.
That'll be the
I mean,
thing.
it's just kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah, that was.
Much easier to do this than basketball. Yeah, exactly.
Why is that?
Basketball is just so much back. Actually, basketball is easier because the players are all front and center, and it's easier to figure out who's who. But
Yeah.
Bulldogs with another corner kick. They've had, I would say, 3 opportunities, converted on 2 of them. Now we got a corner coming in. It is Forrester from the far side, sends it into the box. Ball will bounce around, sent out of bounds by Hanover, far side, and that one will go over the fence. No matter how many ball people you have over there, there's not a whole lot of saving that one, and it will be a Bedford throw.
I don't think I saw.
Far
Well,
side.
there's a ball.
There was a ball person, but the ball went by the light stanchion over there.
Yep. And the ball that they were
Gone
putting
forever.
in the game was, I think it came from the coaches,
Maybe
Bedford coaches.
I
was
mean, we
nice.
might have a deflate gate on our hands again. Possible. I have nothing to say about. I don't have a horse in this race.
Are you heading down to Patriot Place there to try out for quarterback, to be the backup quarterback?
I might. I mean, who
they're
wouldn't
looking for
want
somebody.
Who wouldn't really? I know nothing. Who's the backup quarterback?
Nobody.
Is there a starting quarterback?
Oh no, I think they did re-sign Zappy.
Okay.
Yeah, Zappy.
I'd be
and-
shocked if they didn't. Ball
Yes,
into the
they
middle,
did.
knocked around. Zink had a shot at it, couldn't come up with it. Bedford kind of winning the conditioning game at this point late, and a little bit of scuffling there. Things getting a little interesting down there. Anna Diaz with Kosi Torresani, and Torresani with a 2-handed shove on Diaz, which that's not really a fair fight if you ask me.
Nice control there, the trap.
Great control by Lana. Now to Annie Zink, looking to the middle. Now sent
this.
back to the middle. Lana Morris to Sadie Ross, and the keeper for Hanover makes the nice stop on the shot by Morris, and then sends it back over midfield.
Folklore says that goalkeepers started wearing very colorful uniforms to make themselves a target for those shots.
Interesting. Subliminal.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
Psychology of sports. You can,
Yes.
you can get a doctorate in that, Lauren.
I did not finish mine, but yes. I was trying to get a master's. Did not finish. Took a bunch of classes. Did not finish.
Did you pay or did your parents pay?
I paid because I'm an adult now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ball sent into the near side. Annie Zink with it. Sends it back into the box, and it winds up going off the Hanover defender. That'll be off of Kieran Park, and it'll be a corner kick for Bedford from the near corner.
A little while ago, I was going to say that, it's continued this way, that this is a little more physical game than I would have expected with these two sides. Typically, when you get two really good skilled teams, you see less fouls, fewer fouls. Tonight, not the case.
Kenzie Forrester to take the corner kick from the near side, sends it into the box, poked around, ball still rattling. Kenzie will chase it down, reset, sends it back into the middle, and headed over to the far side. Now with the left foot attempt, I believe it was Jenna Dindorf, but unsure. Bedford on top, 2-0, 5:50 remains here in the game. And again, to your point about physicality, Nora Ripple getting tangled up with Maeve Lee. And now the ball sent back in.
Tangled up, but not a foul.
Tangled up, not a foul.
That's good physical play.
Exactly.
And both ends there, we just had two touches that were not really anything positive that would turn into anything unless you put the ball in the net. Just over 5 minutes.
Just over 5 minutes remain here in the game. Bedford on top, 2-0. Ball sent out of bounds by the Bulldogs, and it'll be a Hanover throw from the far side. It's going to take a lot for Hanover to get back into this game at this point. We haven't seen the ball a whole lot in the Hanover offensive end here in the second half, that's for sure.
Now, it really has changed. Bedford did come out a little bit different sort of a team in the second half.
And if you recall, in the first half, the 3 chances that Hanover had were all off of set pieces, 2 penalties and a corner kick, all of which Bedford was able to stop. Hanover had 1 good shot here in the second half, but really since then there hasn't been anything. Bedford had the 2 goals, one by Lana Morris, the other one by Kylie Morris, and those were really the first 2 chances the Bulldogs had in the game. Ball sent across midfield by the Bulldogs. Now back the other way comes Hanover, and a couple players get tangled up. And a penalty called. It will be a Bedford kick from the far side.
Too far away to make it a true set play, but let's see what we've got downfield. Not that many attackers.
And the clock has now stopped. Lana Morris with it, drag back, sends it back toward the middle. Now Anna with it, loses it, and back
Hustle.
over to the far side. Kenzie Forrester still hustling I believe that's Sloan Correa over there, and then ball off of the Hanover defender
The
finds
sound
itself
effects up here.
in the hands of Sadie Ross. But that one could have been really dangerous. And now Bedford just controlling the ball, sort of running the clock
Nice.
out. Not really sure how much time is left in the game, but regardless, the Bulldogs are absolutely controlling things at this point. Forrester fights for the ball with Hanover. The Hanover defender goes to take the throw, and the official says, "Not so fast, my friends." And it'll be a throw taken by Bedford. Ball into the box. Morris still fighting, still jockeying for position. Ball picked away by Hanover, sent back to midfield. McKenna Snow sends it back into the offensive end. And Hanover really at this point struggling to get much of anything done on offense. We know that they are a good soccer team. And also the fact that you have to come and it's an hour-and-a-half bus trip. That's not exactly something that works to your advantage either.
Probably the Hanover parents could attest to this, but I'm guessing that they would say that the girls look like they're a little bit tired at this point, and their skills have gone down. They've lost the better touches that they had in the first half, whether it's conditioning or whatever it is.
Well, sometimes it's also being down 2-0, and you sort of go into fight or flight mode as well. Now Bedford up the far side. Sends the ball into the offensive end. Turns. Kylie Morris with it. Loses it. Now Bedford somehow maintains it.
I don't think there's too much time left.
Can't imagine there's a whole lot of time left.
One good thing tonight so far, it looks like I don't believe there's been an actual injury on the field.
You had to go and jinx it?
No, please.
Yeah.
I've done that before, haven't I?
Yep. Maeve Lee up the left side. McKenna Snow fighting with her for the ball, and McKenna does a great job picking her pocket. And sends it out of bounds on the near side. It'll be a Hanover throw. Bedford still leads 2-0, under 5 minutes remain. And the ball sent out of bounds. Eleanor Bradley
Wow.
sends it into the box. Callie Spittle makes a save, can't contain the ball. Ball will rattle around, and Callie makes a diving save.
That first
And-
save was incredible. That was a really, decent shot and fantastic save. She flew. That I want to see that on replay.
And that will do it. Now
That's
you'll
it?
have the opportunity to
Wow.
see it on replay. So
Oh boy, 2-0.
there you go, 2-0, the final. Bedford picking up their goals, one right around the 63-minute mark of the game. That one, Lana Morris, or check that one, Kylie Morris from her sister Lana, and the second one, about 3 minutes later, Lana Morris from her sister Kylie. So instead of one buying the other one ice cream, now we're trying to debate what the Morris sisters will reward each other with after this 2-0 victory. And again, got to salute the Bedford Bulldog defense. Addie Kiley, the freshman, doing an excellent job on the back line. First game back there. McKenna Snow as well. And then Callie Spittle in net for the Bulldogs, also doing an excellent job. Bill Klein, anything you want to add before we allow Andrew Fenn to put all his stuff away and let everybody go to bed?
Great start for the season here for the Bedford Bulldogs. Hanover played really well. They should have a good year as well. Maybe we'll see them again like we did with Exeter towards the end of the season. But this time it'll be us on top. Having won the first game, maybe make it 2 in a row. But Andrew, it's good to be back. Mr. Jennings, president of the world of Bedford. And Lauren, this is fun.
It is.
Nice to see you
It is
again.
always fun to get out here. Do we know when our next game is? When is our next broadcast? Andrew Fenn doesn't know. Check the BCTV website, BCTV Facebook, Instagram, all the social media channels. That'll tell you your next game. The football game tomorrow night. There is a game tomorrow night against whom? Bishop Girton tomorrow night. If you
7
can't
o'clock,
be
I
here in
believe.
person, take a moment, watch it on BCTV tomorrow night. So,
And if you want to see more games televised, because this year we're not doing that many, please call BCTV and let them know that you want Lauren and Bill up in the box
all
more.
the time.
Every game.
All
every
the time,
game.
every
Home
game.
and away.
So-
Home and away.
With that said, for Andrew Fenn, Bill Jennings, Bill Klein, Colleen Richardson, I'm Lauren Fox. Your final score, Bedford 2, Hanover nothing. Catch you next time on BCTV, Bedford Community Television.